So hi everybody and welcome back to this Unreal Engine 5 tutorial series for absolute beginners. This is video 121 and in this video I want to talk about very simple sound calls in blueprints. But before that I want to talk again about the source control. The point is I found a video on YouTube which explains GitHub in a very short and effective way, but the problem is this video of this person is a little bit old. It's from 2070 here, and yeah, I don't know if it's useful today, but you can watch it and try it with Unreal Engine 5, and if it's not working you can comment in the section and say it's not working anymore, and then I will remake the whole thing what he is showing on his video, and yes, then I will remake it just so. And yeah, the point is he explains very fast what you need, for example which files you need, the Git and this Git LSF, and of course this is just one version. There are different kind of Gits, and this version what he is explaining here is very simple and good for starters. And then he explains the Git Desktop also. So how you get, wait a minute, let me show you. This is the Git which you get. Later you get here Desktop, Git Desktop. This is I think Git Desktop is one of the easiest tools. You can just start it and then you don't care about these terminals and so on. It's very simple and good for starters, I think. And then he goes to Unreal Engine and then explains how to set up this Git in Unreal Engine, this Git Desktop. So how you connect this one. The only thing what he is missing is after you created this one here, there is a very important, let me show you this one. Here, a ignore list. And you have to add this Unreal Engine ignore list. This here I will both link in description. There is a special ignore list and this one here, and this ignore list is very important because if you add this ignore list to your Git, which will here in this file here, just copy here and paste it in, then all the files which are listed here will be not transferred to Git. And the reason for that is because most of these files can be generated automatically. And that means the files which are transferred to the GitHub itself are very small, and that is very good for you. All right, that both files I will here link in the description. You can try to watch this video. It's only 90 minutes long, and yeah, he is explaining it also how to use in Unreal Engine. That's perfect for beginners. The only problem, like I said, it is old. It is from 2017. I don't know if it's working now. I hope it is working. If it's working, good. If not, write it in the comments. I will remake this, what he made in Unreal Engine 5. Exactly what he used, but in Unreal Engine 5, and then set up it properly. All right, that said, we can go to this video now. And in this video, I said I want to show you a little bit audio play. We know audio play already. For example, I go here to my audio file. Here we have here, we talked already about this. We have here wave files, which are plain wave files. When I open this up, you can see we have here still some default options, and then we have this kind of stuff. But of course Unreal Engine itself has its own files as well. It calls this queue. So with other words, you can click on this wave files here, right click on it, and then you can create about of this wave files, this create queue. We talked already about it, and then you can use this queues, and the queues has the option to code a little bit, which means here you can see here, this is the queue compared to the wave file. The queue has, for example, this is the plain wave file. You have here no option to code, but here in the queue it's the same. Perhaps you can make it the same, but with the options here on the right side, you see you have here some some words which are just nodes, and then you can use them and code here and change what you want. For example, it's much more freedom to use. And there is something new in the audio section is very big actually. We are just seeing here some little things, and there are much more things with masters, with other things and so on. And with Unreal Engine 5 there is even a next new feature introduced, which is meta sound. Perhaps you already saw some of this Unreal Engine 5 presentations with meta sound. It's a little bit more advanced, and yeah, but let's concentrate about very simple things here, which is, again, just call this sound. Till now I said you can just take this sound, throw it in your scene, set up here on the left side in detail some settings. For example, you can write here auto, and then you can set up for example auto active, which means if it's active at start or not. But you can use this one, of course, in blueprints as well. And that's what I did here. What I made here is, let's create this from scratch actually. Here I go in audio, I go create a folder in audio, which is blueprints. And here you can create a normal blueprint. I created one, and then I have this file here, which I'm going to show you. And this one we did similar something to. We just added an audio file, and then we just use a play node. So what is new here? The new thing here is what we want to achieve. For example, when the level starts, most time you want to play first one audio file, then later you want to play the next audio file. And how you can achieve that? And that's very simple actually. And here is an example. You start with event begin play, but this time we have created our own blueprint, and we can place this here in the level. Here, this is the blueprint which I created. I can drop it here in the level, and then of course setting again auto active or not. In this case not, because or we can set it here actually. But before we can set this here, we have set up our blueprint. And yeah, I think I create the blueprint from scratch because it's much easier to show when I create it from scratch instead of saying what I have here. Let's create here fast a new blueprint. I go here to the blueprint class. I go here to actor here on top. I call this blueprint BP sound fx and start. Let's call it for start, because when the game starts. And yeah, I open this one up, and now you see I have nothing here. So first of all, what we have to do is of course create audio files, because we want play audio files. Oops, let me save this one. So for that, I go here to this right left side. Here's an add, and I see already audio here. I create this time 2 audio files because I want play 2 audios, or perhaps you want even play more, then you create just more and name them accordingly. In my case, I keep this because it's just a demonstration. And yeah, let's continue. So I have created the 2 audio files, which means I can use them in my event graph because I have now options. First of all, we can use, for example, the event begin play, which means this is the step when the game starts. This node will trigger, and if this actor is of course placed in the level, then what I want to do is, let's say I want play, for example, one of them. The problem is I added here audio, but I have never said what the audio is. So we click again one of these audios, then we go to the details panel, and here we have many options. I skipped most of the options now. You can read them on your own. The only thing what I'm going to set right now is the sound here, and here we specify this wave files which we want to play, or you can even specify a Q file as well, because then you have some programming in it. You can do what you like, and let's see what I have here. I have here strange things. I don't know. I don't want to waste time here actually. Let's say, okay, whatever. Here's a beat. Let's see what this is. Okay, then the same thing I do for the second audio as well. So I click on this one. Of course, you have here other options like volume, pitch, and so on. You can test this all, but I skip all this kind of stuff because I want just show you how you call them. And then here, my second sound is, for example, I don't know. Let's make here's something instruments. Okay, let's go for instruments. Of course, you would then change here the names, for example, for the sound what you need, because so you know that this audio file is playing this sound and the other one, but I skip this as well. And let's continue. So I have created now this audio files, right? And here is my begin play, which means if this one is placed in the level, it will start, depends on my setting, because here is one more setting which is important, which I have not set, which is this what we saw before, auto active. You want this not auto active in this case, or you want, depends your settings. In our case we set this no, because we will set them ourselves here in the code. That's why we set them both not active by default. All right. With that said, what I can do now is I can grab one of them and I can say play. And you see again, we have here when we write play from this audio, we have here different kind of options you can read. I use here just this play here, and we know this one here already. And yeah, now this one compile save, it will work automatically. So we go here. Here's my new created sound. I should delete all other sounds what I have here in my level. The problem is I made here a mistake. I created not a folder for sound, because that's all time a bad thing to do. Not creating a folder for sound. Okay, let's skip the process. Where is that? Okay, I don't know what I did. Anyway, normally you would create here a folder, right click, and then create new folder. Where is that browser? I said no, man. I don't know why it's not popping up here. Let's see. Yeah, here on top. Okay, you select the top level here, and then you can generate folder. And anyhow, it's lagging here on my side. Okay, one more time. Yeah, create folder. I don't know what's going on, but it's not creating that what I want. There's something wrong. No. All right, let's skip this creating file. I have pressed a C on top. That's why. And that's why it was not showing up. Oh my god. All right. Now I'm smarter. That's sure. Okay, create folder, and let's call this here audio. Now we put this time all in audio so that we have not find them all time. And here was an audio file anywhere which I want. I can't find it here fast, I think, because I put it here in front. Let's kick them other out. I think that was it. Yeah, I think that was it. I can start it, and if I hear nothing, then it's okay. Yes, I hear nothing. That's good. All right, so here I show you fast this one here. This is the one we created, and now you see when I start this one here, it plays a sound. And that was the strange sound what I have here. Okay, then we go back, we click the other ones away because we don't need. We go back to our blueprint which we just created, and now we say, okay, what I want is I want play the next sound after this one. How I do this? The same way here, you drag this out, then you say here play. Of course you can play other things. And if you connect this one now here, then you have a problem. What is the problem? The problem is it starts here, it plays this one, but this white line will activate this one instantly too. And this white line is called, yeah, instantly, we can say, even if it's 1 nanosecond or 20 nanoseconds later, that counts now. We don't realize that as a human. So this one is called, we say, instantly at the same time. So with that said, we have a problem, right? When I play now both, I don't want this. So how I can avoid this? Very easy solution. We know it. It is just delay. It's one of the easiest solution, I would say. Oops. Delay node. And if you get this delay node and you say, okay, play this one here first, then you make a delay, let's say how long you want that this first one should play. And let's say play 5 seconds. After 5 seconds, I want that you start to play. But this one is active because this one will set this one active, which means we have to stop this one. So which means after this delay, you want stop this one. So I make here copy, paste, and then a stop. You can write stop, and then you see it pops up here, audio, and then stop. And there is even another one with stop delayed, but in my which means you can, I don't know, you can test it. It's perhaps with delay, like it says stop delayed. Perhaps we don't need the delay. I don't know. I have not tested. I just called stop here in this case because I already made my own delay here. Perhaps the other one is better because it's in one node. Who knows? Yeah, this one is probably working because now you stop this one here. And here you started. So let's test this out, how this sounds. Okay, this should be 5 seconds. All right, it works. So, and for what is that good? For what is that good? For example, if the game starts, you want to start the game with some talks, perhaps a narrative person who is talking at start, and after that you play a music. For example, that could be a use case. But there are millions other use cases. So this one is almost good. Of course, I have forgot the comments here. I hope it's okay. You know that here are all-time comments, right? Here start, something like that, and then comment this out. Let's select this one and then this one. And you should then all time explain what you do, why you do, and so on for all the other ones too. But I skipped the comments here as well. All right, because I want to show you one more thing, which is interesting as well, which is sometimes you want that this blueprint should activate after you enter a new region, right? And how you make this? Very simple, like this one here. We can go to our folder here. This one we created, you can just duplicate this one here, which you created in my case. I call this now overlap. So, and this is the same like before. I opened this one up, but this time I just say I want that this one starts not with the event begin play, which is when I press play here and I place this one in my level, this one will be triggered as well. And I don't want that. I want that this one is triggered when my character overlaps it. And my goal is, for example, my character enters a new level, a new region, and then I want player special sound. And very simple solution. What we do is we add to this new one, which is this one overlap. In this one, I add here just a collision box. You can use any, right? Just call. Then you have again here the 3 options. I choose just a simple box collision. You can name it properly. I skip this. And then you can go for the viewport and see here's our collision box. And for development purposes, I all time make this show in game, which you say then here, type here on the details panel hidden in game, because this means right now it is checked and it means it's hidden in game, but I want not it hidden in game only for development purposes, because I want to see where it is so I can go directly and overlap with this one. So okay, with that said, I go back here to the start. But before I go there, I make one more thing. I select again my box. I go down, 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 and then you see here many green box buttons with a plus sign on it. And here you can choose, of course, what you want. And I make here an overlap, because my character enters a new level, right? And then he's overlapping this box, and I will scale this box so that when he's overlapping this one, that it is. And very easy. What we do now is, in this case, because the sound we have already set up here, I can just say don't go from start, use the overlap event here. And another thing what I have to do is, of course, I must say which character should overlap, so that will not work. Other actor, let's say here my oops, cast a player character, BP Infinity Warrior in my case, I think. Yeah, it is this cast to BP Infinity Warrior. So if this my character, which is in my case the BP Infinity Warrior, which is here, we can see it here, I set it as default, this one here. You have to find your ones, and then you can just connect this one, because it is just saying don't use the start one, just use the overlap one here. And now let me put this back here a little bit. So, and then compile save. And here what we can do now is we can get rid of the other one which we have first, which is here SF, yes, this one here. And then we can go to audio again, to our blueprints, and create it with overlap, which is this one in my case. I drag this one here, and this one will be activated when I overlap it. Of course, you would make here specify the region also. For example, let's say I walk more deeper in this region where you are here. Then of course you would also scale it a little bit so that when I cross, let's say, this region here, that it overlaps all the time. How we can make this? We go back to our overlap, we go back to our viewport, and then you click your box here, this collision box, and don't use this scale for this purposes. They use most time this box extend. But you can read this in the documentation, which you should use the scale or box extend. Most time I think they say box extend, and then you can assign this here. Let's say just for test purposes, of course you would find this one, I think 1000 is good. And let's see, I test if this one is okay. Let me see this. So I see this one would be on this side. Of course I could rotate this one as well, but let's make it, yeah, we can keep this and rotate this, so you can make it one. It's not so important which you make, and then you can of course adjust it like you want. I skip this part as well, and here I added it here on my ground, so which means when I walk over this one here, it should work, and we test it. So I see it because I want, and now I walk over it, and now it started. Okay, the sound is probably crap. But I have here a problem. You see, this one is reactivated again, and now I have, you saw after I overlapped it again, it restarted this, and then it makes a mixed sound which sounds not good. So to avoid this, there is a very simple trick. Oh, let's say what we can do. We go to our blueprint again. We go to the event graph and you say, okay, do this only once. And what you are going to do once is playing this sound here, which means we make here do once node, do once. And we are not resetting it. Of course, you can reset this one. Oops, let's pull here a little bit back. And here. Of course, you can reset this later, depends on your needs. For example, you say these can go back, or you are creating another thing. But this one, this once node, is just to prevent that when you overlap it one time and overlap it again, that this will. Now I try to overlap, and you see it was not activated again. Of course, you can make here region activation, and yeah, that was it. Also, what I once showed. It is very simple, straightforward. You see, very simple. Just activate sound, deactivate sound, and that's more it. And add how many sounds you want here. It's very simple, very effective, very fast actually, because, and then you have to set up. But careful, this is most time made for simple solutions. There are some more complex solutions, some mixers and other things, which is probably better when you make, let's say, a whole sound system. But for starters, this solution is very fine too, at least to get started and say, okay, I want activate in this region this one, and then I want play that one, and so on. Yeah, I think I stop here. And if you have questions or any complaint like all time, write it in the comments. And with the source control again, if it's not working because he showed the old he showed all things in Unreal Engine 4 and you can't follow it up, write this one also in the comments and I make it with Unreal Engine 5. And I'm not using right now in Unreal Engine 5 also source control. I think I set it up in Unreal Engine 4, and yeah, I can set it up in Unreal Engine 5 if it's needed. So with that said, good luck and bye.